administrator can, they can get all the information from this system. And there's nothing that they hide because, it's open for everybody to see.
The point that your senator was making is that if you had your own system, you would have both the visibility that the chair and the auditor desires, and you would have all this money that you're paying to the service provider available for you to be able to do other things. I don't know if my math is right, Chair, but at 6.5%, you're paying these guys 390 million shillings per year. That is more than the money you spend on the roads, Governor. That's the point your senator is making. You would have that 400 million shillings to be able to service your equipment.
Let me explain this because you're right, Senator Sifuna. When I came in, we had an agreement with the CAPS by the former administration. And now, actually, we are having a process of having our own, system, because all counties are going, that route, that you have your own system so that you can save yourself that amount of money that you are paying a service provider like CAPS. So, indeed, we didn't want to interfere with, the agreement because there were clauses that are very punitive in nature. That if you have to break if you have to do this, there are so many things. And I think the senator for Narok know that issue that went to court, and I think they are still having some issues. But now we have all agreed that going forward, we need to have our own system. In fact, there's a system that Murang'a County is using, and we think that that system is very good. We are giving other service providers to come and do presentation, and we see the best that can now give us to collect what they are saying 8.5. We'll wish to go to 10, but again, we are developing a year by year.
But you see, even if you took a new system and you don't have visibility on the back end, you still have the same problem. For us, we want to have the assurance that everything that is collected is reported. Because we have that feeling in counties, I think counties like Nairobi, that Nairobi collects much more, but what is declared is less than the actual collection across the city. Senator,
yes, Chair. Just to add on,
Senator Cherargei.
just to add on to that, Chair. I think some of these questions we are asking maybe can be answered if the committee can be able to access the contractual agreement between the county government and the CAPS and maybe Jumbo Pay. But Chair, I think there's nothing wrong with looking for service providers. The only issue would be, where does this money go to when they are collected? Do they go directly to the county-controlled bank account? Because if they go to CAPS, then they are forwarded to you, then there will be a problem there. But I think, Chair, if this money is collected by CAPS, but it goes direct to the county bank account, then I think we wouldn't have any problem because, of course, everything will be seen to go to the county. And also, I think the county should have a system that is integrated with this system. They can see real data as it happens. I mean, it's as easy as that, Chair.
Yeah, so we need to be careful that we are not saying go e-citizen. Someone might say that go e-citizen. But then why are you saying no? No, I mean, if there's a collection system that's working, why wouldn't you go e-citizen, or you lack control?
But have you forgotten, Chair, that e-citizen, there's somebody also who collects a fee? The 50 shillings.
Yeah. Okay, Senator Cherargei.
Chair, maybe Governor, I remember it's not an idle conversation, by the way. I remember, Governor, we were even discussing, if you remember, Chair, and Senator Ledama would be keen to this, is we even invited KRA. So, because we were wondering, is there a possibility of developing a KRA-like system to ensure counties correct maximum their revenue and to avoid leakages? And I remember that's a conversation we should have in terms of policy so that we can be able to seal some of these loopholes. Governor, apart from CAPS, how long has been Jumbo Pay providing services? And are you aware of the track record of Jumbo Pay in some of the counties like Meru, like Busia, and a number of them? What gave you confidence to have an engagement with them? And finally, looking at these challenges that you are facing in terms of collectors and many other issues that has been noted by the OAG, do you believe this is the most efficient system, or you think you can develop? I think Narok has the best brains that can develop some of these systems that can be used to collect revenue. Because I agree with you, you should be moving to 10 billion from 8.5. But if you can ensure some of these issues are resolved, including the issue of valuation role, it would be easy.
Okay.
Chair, those would be my 3 questions.
Governor?
Thank you, Chair. On the issue of Jambo Pay, they have only been providing us services for the last 2 years. And because actually they are managing a very small amount in terms of revenue, about 1 billion shilling. That's what they are managing. So I have not seen a problem. I have heard of it after I have already contracted with them, that they had some issues in other counties.
But you need to be concerned that all their revenue streams are dropping, despite Correct. All the explanations you're giving. That should be an indicator that there's a problem, because automation is supposed to increase efficiency and collection, but we are hearing a lot of stories around the streams they're managing.
I'm learning that from you, Senator, but as I said, I have not seen any problem so far. It's only 2 years they have just started. The other issue of, you ask whether we can develop our own, that's what we are doing right now. Counties are going that way, that we develop our own system so that we can save the 6.5% that we are paying to the service providers.
So maybe because, Governor, you are saying you are learning from us in one of your service provider, Jambo Pay. What is the level service agreement? Do you do review yearly in terms of year under review, the finance year, or do you do monthly? Do you do quarterly? How often do you review? And sometimes is there a downtime when this service provider, both the Jambo Pay and CAPS? Because if there are any problems that have been faced in other areas, then, and Chair has rightly observed from the document we have been given, there is a steady decline in some of the revenue streams of the provider. What is the level service
Governor? Provider
saying? Service level agreement.
Yeah, we normally do quarterly.
So they are talking.
No, members, I'm convinced, and I'm doing this because of time, that we might need a systems audit in Narok. Because if you go to issue number 6, you have weaknesses in Kenya Airport's parking services system, the one that is used to collect park fees. We have just dealt with issue number 4, where there is over-reliance on a service provider. There is lack of visibility, and the Auditor General says that the county does not have mechanisms to ensure the completeness and accuracy of the revenue collected. And then the auditor goes ahead and says that there are weaknesses in the system, and erases 6.1, use of cash as a mode of payment, 6.2, services not in the County Finance Act but mapped in the CAP system, and 6.3, services incorrectly charged to customers in the law system. And all that the auditor is saying are weaknesses in the system. Now, because of time, because remember we still have to deal with Murang'a County, and by 2:30 we need to be in the chamber. Honorable members, I was proposing that we either do a systems audit or generate a few additional questions so that we can get the assurance as a Senate that this service provider is offering the best kind of service for Narok. This service provider is not collecting and reporting, that this service provider, as raised by the Auditor General, can guarantee the completeness and accuracy of the revenue collected. I think that's something that we can do. We have the power to do so. Even if it's not today, we can direct that we field a set of questions and even invite the governor alongside CAPS, because this perhaps is the second most important revenue collection system in counties after the one for Nairobi. And I think even for Nairobi, we're in that space where we want to do a thorough systems audit. Honorable members, can that be a good way for us to deal with this? Yeah. Senator Ledama?
Oh. I think, why don't we go through this so that we know whether it is necessary or not, to see whether, I don't know about your time, But if you look at those weaknesses, if there are any responses that can satisfy, because I think one of the key most important thing, Mr. Chairman, is that once we go through these queries, we mark them either resolved or unresolved. So that auditors, when you're carrying out your next